Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. For those of you who are new to my channel, child, let me introduce you to the Jungle Beauty Goddesses, the life-size fabric sculpture dolls you see sitting behind me. I created these dolls myself, and as I was sewing them, they would not stop talking to me. And this led to my Jungle Beauty Goddess book series, which led to my Jungle Beauty Goddess Oracle deck that I'm going to use to talk to you about making sure that you're doing everything right so that your dream doesn't pause. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about not opening the oven door. So let's just say, you've done everything you can. You wrote that song, you painted that picture, you submitted your application, you put that cake in the oven. Don't open the oven door, right? This is what we're going to talk about. Is sometimes if we are not carrying the right frequency, the right vibration, the right attitude, this can cause our dreams to pause. You can sometimes, another way of saying this is how to get out of your own way. So I'm going to give you seven things you can do to remain in alignment with the frequency that is most likely to bring your dream to attract, magnetize your deepest desires to you. So the first thing is, I just want you to know, I know this is a very, very old saying, God's rejection is God's protection. Now, what that just really means is, I forgot to show you the cards. I don't want to start this video over. So these are the cards that I pulled, and I actually meditated on the cards, and then I put together these 7 steps. So the first card I have is from Jungle Beauty Goddess Namiv, and Jungle Beauty Goddess Namiv's message is, give your mind time to accept the wisdom of your soul. Forgive yourself. The next card I have is from Jungle Beauty Goddess Safar. Jungle Beauty Goddess Safar's message is, creativity is not a special gift. You are a creator. And then last card I have is from Demeter, who is the divine masculine energy. And his message is, assert your divine power. So basically I pull the cards and then I meditate on the cards and I listen to my intuition for a message. So let me go back. Go ahead and finish. So the first thing I want you to know is, when I say God's rejection is God protection, which is a very old saying, who knows? It's like, don't chase what eludes you. Sometimes I think that the first thing you need to understand is that if you don't get that job, it wasn't meant for you. Like, it wasn't that it was yours and maybe somebody took it, because maybe, I personally don't believe that. Or maybe you thought you were going to get that guy or that girl, or you thought it was for you. You don't understand. You had all of the credentials. You did everything right, and you don't understand. Listen, so the number one thing, the energy that you must carry is, do not chase what eludes you. And what you want, what belongs to you, no one can take it away from you. And what doesn't belong to you, child, nobody can give it to you. Okay? I know that sounds crazy. So the first thing is to realize that what is divinely belongs to you is going to come to you. Now, I think we can sometimes delay that, right? But I don't think we won't get it. It's kind of like your check is coming in the mail and it's just taking a long time. But, so the first rule, the first thing, God's rejection is God's protection. You're going to get what's coming to you. When, how fast, how quickly, these next 6 steps are going to help you with that. But just know that I think what's meant for you, you're going to get. Okay? Now, the second thing that I want you to do, to keep in mind, in order to resonate or magnify your dream to you, is, I want you to know, is that a lucky person is a happy person. Lucky people are happy people. people do a lot of like prayer for like money. I'm not saying you shouldn't have money. Money is a beautiful thing. We pray for a lot, but I think people do money spells. But I think one of the most important attributes that any person should, I don't want to say pursue, because it's a tricky road, but it's to be in a state of happiness, to be absolutely happy. Because when you are happy, you are going to draw everything and everyone to you that you need to get whatever you want. Listen, of all the things I'm going to tell you, oh my God, this is the most important. So, lucky people are happy people. So, let's just say you have submitted your application and now you're just like waiting for your big break, and you're trying to keep your nerves together. You're trying to figure out what to do. Let me tell you, you need to know what truly brings you joy and bliss. Like, what do you do? Like, what's your favorite song? Like, my favorite song is the Bellamy Brothers, Just Let Your Love Flow. That's when I hear that, I feel like that's like a song between me and God. All right. That's, I have a list of songs that just instantly put me in the best mood ever. I have my favorite chick flick movies. I love a good chick flick. My Best Friend's Wedding with Julia Roberts. I like, believe it or not, Bride Wars. I know it's silly, but I love a good romantic chick flick. Dumb and Dumber, the first one, the original one. I don't know why I love that movie, but it got me through my divorce, child. So, the first thing you need to do, well, this is the second thing, is you need to have a list of songs, movies, if you like getting pedicures, whatever it is, if you like to paint, if you like to draw, I don't know what it is, child, but you need to understand how to put yourself in a really good mood and to be happy, because being in a state of happiness is the highest vibration possible. Now, when I say it's tricky, it's because I think a lot of times people don't know they're happy until they may be happy right now and not even know it. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like one of those 20/20 hindsight. Like, you go on a trip and everybody's complaining about the camping trip, and then when you look back on that camping trip 2 years later, you think that's the best vacation I ever had. You lost your luggage, and everybody, you understand what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's tricky. So, but I think you need to know what are the things that you like to do, you like to listen to, you like to eat, that automatically raises your vibration and puts you in the best mood ever. So that is the second thing you need to do to take your dream off pause. Okay? Do everything you can to stay in a happy mood. You submitted that paper, you applied for that job, you've done everything. Work on being in the best mood possible. Now, the third thing I want you to do in order to vibrate your dream or magnetize your dream to you is learn something new. I cannot. Okay, so I know if you're new to my channel, hello darling, you'll see I am a very creative person. This is just the way I've been created. Now, the thing I want you to know is that whenever you're creating something, I don't care if you're writing a song, I don't care if you're studying for an exam, I don't care what you're doing. Whenever you do something, it is so important, or create something, it is so important to learn something new, no matter how small it is, because you want to be a different person when you make the next book, when you write the next book, or when you bake the next cupcakes, or when you take the next class. This is something that it's something that I cherish. It's something that I do as an individual. So, and for some of you guys who are who are new to my channel, I just want you to know that just so you know who you're listening to, I took a GED out of high school. I have an associate's, a bachelor's, 2 masters, and a doctorate degree. and I've written several books, and I have all these. So I know when I'm talking about being creative, and I'm talking about being able to, you can't control how other people respond to you, but you can control yourself. So I'm just saying, I'm a person who has been able to think of what I want and to bring that dream into fruition. So the third thing I want to tell you to do is always learn something new, because every time you, for example, I love to make dolls, and in between making dolls, I'll start making other things. Like, I just made a prosperity pig. Why did I make a pig? I don't know. But the eye technique that I use, I cannot wait to use that on a doll. I've learned just from making different things, oh my God, I can't wait to try this on a hand. I can't wait to try this different thing. But always do something and learn something new, try something new, so that when you go back, you are a different person. So when you become a different person by learning new information, by trying new things, I want to make sure the camera, oh my God, I thought the camera was off. Then what you are creating is growing, it's getting better. It's not the same because you're not the same. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I don't care if you go from a relationship to a new relationship, from a job to a job. Always try to be a better version of yourself than the person who completed the last project, if that makes sense. So always learn something new, do something. If it's a new stitch, if it's a new flavor, try a new flavor. I'm not saying go and do something major, but always put yourself in a position where you are learning a new technique, a new method, something new, because I promise you, you'll use it in the strangest ways, and you'll get all of these wonderful new ideas, because you'll have this file in your brain of okay, this would be perfect with that. You know what I'm saying? So when you're learning something new, you're still not fretting over the application or what you've already done. You're not trying to open the oven door. I call it opening the oven door, because sometimes when we we submit an application and we start calling, did I get it? We start doing things to actually destroy what we're trying to create, because we haven't figured out how to focus our energy on something productive. So learning something new is a good way to focus on something productive and raise your vibration. You know what I'm saying? So the fourth thing you want to do is apply what you've learned. So let's just say, all right, I've written this song, and now I'm in a good mood. Everything is great. I learned something new. I want to try this new verse. I want to try this new technique. I want to try this new paint, or this paintbrush, or this new, you know what I mean? So you just want to put it to use. And I just discovered this new flavor, so let me try it in a new recipe. So, and when you try it again, the act of doing, it raises your vibration, and it keeps your mind off of your situation. It keeps your mind off of wondering if they're going to call you, if you're going to be selected, if you're going to get the job. You're not worried, because you're learning, you're growing, you're still creating something, applying knowledge to, it could be something very small, but learn something new and then apply what you have learned. It's so important to do that, because one thing I have learned about art as an artist myself is that, child, you cannot think it through, you have to do it through. You can think about it all day, but until you put the paintbrush in action, or actually try to make that object, or try that new technique and tweak it and work on it, you have to do it. So if you don't do it, you understand what I'm saying. Now, the fifth thing I want you to do while you're waiting for your dream to come to you, and this is very important, I want you, if necessary, I want you to become a hermit or isolate yourself, let me just say this. when I applied for a job as a teacher, and everybody kept telling me that I was not going to get the job. It was teaching at a college. And people kept saying, you're not going to get the job because it's not your time. It's a coveted position. You know, there are people who have waited 10, 12 years before they were able to get a full-time position. It's, you know, this is very prestigious. You're too young. Everybody kept telling me that, you know, you're not going to get this job, but maybe when another position open up. I mean, I'm talking about like the secretary. I'm talking about just colleagues walking in the hall saying, you know, we're probably not going to pick you, so don't get your hopes up. I decided that I was going to isolate myself from people, because what I've learned is that sometimes I wrote this down, it was kind of people's inspiration can lower your vibration. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes people tell you stuff because they wanted me to not get my hopes up. They weren't trying to hurt me. They really weren't trying to hurt me. But what they were doing is, it was lowering my vibration and pushing what I wanted away from me. Because I believe, again, like I was saying, I believe that what belongs to you, you're going to get it. But sometimes we pause that dream because we're not at the frequency where we are able to resonate and magnify it, or magnetize it to us. So when people kept telling me that I wasn't, you know, don't get upset because you're awfully young, you're probably not going to get it, I decided that I wouldn't go and back to my office because I didn't want to see anyone. I would go straight to the classroom, teach my class, and go right back to my car. For 3 months, I did not make any, I cut out all my friends. I didn't answer any phone calls because people kept asking me, did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? Well, I hadn't heard anything because it was like a 4-month process. And when I just didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to tell people I didn't get it. Have you heard anything? I didn't want people to tell me that I wouldn't get it. I didn't want to hear it. So I started playing classical music. I would only listen to classical music. And I made sure that I was in the best mood every day. So I watched a lot of my chick flicks, and I didn't listen to any of my rap music. I felt that it was rap music, in my opinion. You know, I love me some Tupac, child. But I felt like it brought my vibration down, or it made me, you know, like power to the people. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want that vibration. I felt that it would push that job away from me. So I listened to classical music. I watched a lot of my chick flicks. I tried to make sure that I was taking good care of my feet, getting pedicures, because your feet are your root chakra, and it's connected to the earth. It's connected to your path and to your mission. So when you are, you know, wanting something, your feet are how you take care of them is very important. They're symbolic of where you are in terms of resonating what it is that you want. So don't forget that. So take care of your feet when you're on your journey. And so again, I'm just saying, for number 5, sometimes you got to isolate yourself from other people and take care of yourself. So you'll be surprised at how it can relieve your energy, so that you can keep the vibration that you want to get so that you're able to attract what it is you're seeking. And number 6, now this is to be still. Yes, be still. You might, you know, sometimes we are in a winter season. What this means is, let's just say you've written a book, you've mailed it out, you're waiting to hear from an agent, you know that stage where you've done everything you can, but you haven't heard from anybody, or you know, everything you receive is a rejection, or, you know, not now. You're applying for a job and everything is no. What I mean about winter season is, in the winter, yes, the ground is hard, right? But it doesn't mean that the leaves are not going to blossom in the spring. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes we're in a winter season in our life, and what God is doing to bring about what it is that you want, what the universe is doing, what your angels are doing, the spirit, what child, whatever you want to call it, however you want to look at it. When those trees, our branches are bare in the winter, they come back in the spring, but there is no signs of life. So if you were to go outside in the middle of winter and plant something, it's probably not going to grow, right? But you can plant something at the right time. In the winter, it's there. It's going to come in the spring. So sometimes we have to be still. Sometimes, what I mean is, after you're keeping up your mood, child. You're not listening to people telling you what you're not going to get and what you're not going to do, and it's just not your time. You've done all that. You're learning new skills. You're applying those new skills, those new painting techniques, writing techniques, right? But you also, I may have to understand that when we're talking about be still, we're talking about be still mentally. Be still and know that it's not going to come. It's just there are other pieces. There are other people who have to get in alignment. Like one of the people that you're probably going to work with, they may have to quit their job and wake up and realize that they're on the wrong path. And then you guys will, meet. I can say that happened to me when I was, going for my dream job. The person who was going to hire me, this person had to become, in this position to be able to help me. But it all, like when I listen to stories all the time, there are so many factors going on behind the scenes that's actually working in your favor. Okay, but don't interrupt it. That's why I told you to learn something new, stay in a good mood, apply what you've learned, and be still. Be still mentally. Don't get into a negative state of it's never going to happen for me and telling people your woes, or don't think about it, because you don't, no matter what you do, you're not going to dig it up, because you understand what I'm saying? You're not going to dig it up, but know that this power beyond you is working on it. After I got my doctor's degree, after I completed my doctorate degree, all of this work, y'all, I could not find a job. And in order for me to get a job, I had to, because I had taken off like 6 months, I saved up some money so I could finish my doctorate because it was just so much work. So after I graduated, and I put resumes everywhere. Back then we mailed them, and no one called me. No one, I wasn't getting any, no one was calling me for an interview. Matter of fact, I had quite a few people call and congratulate me on my doctorate. Like, okay, but what about the job? So I had all of this I had 13 years of social work experience, and now I have 2 masters and a doctorate, and so I'm overqualified, and I didn't want to be a social worker anymore. I really didn't know how to transition. And in order for me to get a job, because my rent was 4 months behind, and I had an eviction court date. I took off one of my masters and my doctorate degree so that I could get a job. And I did that for like 6 months. I worked at an agency, and I took off 2 of my degrees so I wouldn't lose my apartment, because I was in a time where I had to be still. I had to be still. I couldn't force it. It was just so weird. But after that job, though, this is when I was able to triple my income, like within a year's period. So I worked there for like 6 months, and there was another, but everything worked out. But it's like no matter what I was trying to do. So what I'm saying is, you're in a period where sometimes after you've done everything you can, Nope, the money ritual is not going to work. The candle is not going to work. The spell is not going to work. The chanting is not going to work. You know, like none of those things are going to work, because the thing that you want, it has to get ready for you too. Do you understand? So this is what this be still. Like sometimes you got to know that once you've done everything that you can do, that trust that the universe, trust the process, and know that God, the universe, whichever term you feel comfortable with, that thing that you have prayed for is coming to you. And the last thing I want to tell you to do, in order not to pause your dream child, or to keep your energy channel clear so what you want is coming to you, is to be grateful for what you have. Now, I know you hear that all the time, but I'm telling you, just listen, just try this. Have you ever done something for somebody and they don't say thank you? How do you feel about it? Do you feel like you could at least say thank you, right? And it makes you not want to do anything else for them, by the way. Or you feel like, wow, they're so unappreciative, right? But let's just say there's someone who is like always like thanking you. Like they always say thank you and say, oh my God, I really appreciate that. Don't you just want to do something else for them again? Because why? Because you just feel so appreciated. So while you are waiting for more, or whatever it is, be grateful for what you have. Because being grateful is also a vibration. So gratefulness and joy, like if you can hold those two vibrations, child, you will be on top of the world. You hear me? Like, I'm grateful for what I already have. I'm grateful for the job that I have. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the people that love me. I'm grateful for my health. Like, if you just start making a list every day of like 10 things that you're super grateful for, just to start your day, just to keep your vibration up, this also is going to help keep that soil rich and with nutrients so that your dream will blossom. So just know that what you want wants you. Okay? What you want wants you. And if you don't get it, that particular thing wasn't for you. I really hope this reading helps someone. Thank you so much for watching. And I look forward to seeing you, darling, in the next video.